Welcome, you guys. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. As the right candle is flickering, I come to you. I haven't done a union spread in a long time, and I decided today, what the heck? So the left was the feminine, right? They join by the middle. The right is the masculine, and these are the cards going forward for the masculine, and those were the underlying, the Nine of Pentacles was the underlying card from the bottom of the deck, and the two below that. So it's crazy what came out, and I'm going to clarify the crap out of it for you guys. And I put Jesus with the two children front and center there. We have these little guys too. Each one of these, my daughter brought these back from Fiji. These little guys. There's one for the masculine and one for the feminine. And we have the blue for the masculine and the pink for the feminine, so everybody is clear on which side is which. And of course the love. So again, the feminine's on the left from my left hand. Left is feminine in, masculine's right out. Okay, so this was done 242 to 244, putting out these cards from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And that's the High Priestess and the 42 of the Two of Cups and the 44 of the Four of Cups, the mastering, grounding, and integrating of the Two of Cups, the two lovers, and the two of the High Priestess, their psychic abilities. Okay, so as we go forward here, and I will show you, the first card up here is the Two of Crystals in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is also the surrender in this deck, which I'll show you in a minute, but I want to get through what I wrote for you first, and then we'll clarify it. So the divine masculine, or the divine feminine, walked away and within with that card, working, well, actually here. So starting from the underlying energy, the divine feminine walked away and within with the Eight of Cups, and then here's that working card of the Eight of Crystals, and she ends up here as the Nine of Crystals. The divine feminine walked away and within, working 8-8, because we have the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Crystals. The 88, which is the masculine and the feminine, side by side, doing the dance within the masculine and feminine. And now Sovereign, the Nine of Pentacles, or crystals in this deck. Surrendered to pain and betrayal in the Two of Crystals here, as the divine masculine dealt with drama and epiphanies with the Tower over here, synchronicities and epiphanies, and the divine feminine in exile from the group here, roaring as the tiger in the strength card at the divine masculine to get him to expose himself with the sun, the solar deity, her sunshine. The divine feminine is the hermit, becomes the hermit with the light, lighting up the dark cave that she was in to make it more bright, coming out of the E Tower while the divine masculine is still working outside the E Tower, and High Tower, which is over here, the High Tower, he's working outside that tower as well with crystals, doing discovery work, as the divine masculine rises above the drama here with the help of exposure, as in the sun above, and the divine feminine's fire, as above, so below. The divine feminine's fire, raising him up, inspiring him. The divine feminine with the 9 here of the crystals or pentacles, and waiting for the divine masculine, giving 2 of her crystals to the 7 of crystals to get to him, and another one, because we go from 7 and 7 flames, but they take one of the flames here, this is the match that lights the rest of the flames, and then the 7-7 to inspire the divine masculine to the 9 of Cups, his sovereignty, for hanging out in the bat cave together. So over here we have 8 and 8 plus 9, which is 16, right? Well, the 8 and 8 is 16, plus 9 is 25, the Knight of Wands. So the Tower and the Knight of Wands. And on this side, we have the 4 of Crystals, which is the Bat Cave, the Divine Masculine's heart, for me in this deck. This is the Divine Feminine's heart. I rarely get a read with both the masculines and divine feminine's heart in the read. Okay, so his heart here, her heart there. So the 4 of crystals plus the hangman, which is 12, is 16. Plus he is in his sovereign, the 9 of cups, which again is 16 plus 9, 25. They are exactly equal on both sides, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. The divine feminine surrenders in exile in the Mary Magdalene cave. She surrenders in exile to the Mary Magdalene cave, and I'll show you that card, but it's very much outside the group, and there is no light in that cave. She has to learn to create the light and light the way in the 5D from the Mary Magdalene template, the cave. The divine masculine is putting out the fires, right? He starts out with the tower of drama and lots of fires around him and lightning striking under the sun in the 3D in order to expose all and rise above then from the fire to tango with that match that he lit, his flame. Ending the pain between them here with the tiger's eye, Rapunzel in the E Tower meets Hightower in the Bat Cave, Mary Magdalene's cave in another dimension, right? So this is this cave, right? She's in a cave, he's in a cave too. They're just in caves, the same cave in the different dimension, while she's in her garden over here outside the E Tower, where this is him, look, it's the same thing as his heart in the Bat Cave is the same, except he's outside the E Tower, where he resides in another dimension. So they're both, this is him in 2 different dimensions. This is at her place, right across the street watching her, and this is him at home in his cave. This is her in another dimension in her cave of the Mary Magdalene template. And again, the cave over here. It was very cool. So like here they're both outside and here they're both in the caves. And there's 3 towers here. You have the tower here, you have the tower here, and you have the tower here. So the trinity of towers comes up as well. So I could not make this up if you try, right? We have 2 8s, 2 7s for the masculine coming toward the masculine. We have 2 9s, 2 7s, 2 8s, 2 9s. Okay? And with the 3 fires in the tower card, we also have 3 towers, 1, 2, 3. And the outside in the 2 dimensions, them both being outside the E Tower, and then them also being inside the cave of the masculine's heart, both matching up with the divine masculine's heart and the divine feminine's heart. So cool. So I'm going to clarify these cards to see what else comes up for you guys. But I could never even imagine this configuration, you guys. Pretty amazing. I hope you see or feel what I feel about this. So I don't want to mess up the configuration. So real quick, I'm going to show you the cards, just because they look so nice put out like this. So I just want you to see the real colors of the SIRIAN Starseed deck, right? So the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Crystals, the 9 of Crystals. We have the 2 of Crystals, the 10 of Orbs, and the Tower up top there, so you can see what they look like. The feminine surrender, right? The pain of the 10 of Swords, and then the Tower. And then there is the 5 of Crystals. So you see there's a group in the back that she's in exile of in a very cold cave, right? And then the Tiger is the Strength card and the Sun of the solar deity. And then the reflection of the Hermit, again, very much like in the cave downstairs, needing to come out with the light. And the E Tower, where Rapunzel resides. And then the 7 of Flames, where the masculine rises above the fires he's been putting out. All right, to the 9 of Chalices and the 4 of Crystals and the Hanging Man with that right knee block. So that has to do with still anger issues. So, sorry about my mess beneath my table. This is like my spot. When I injured my back, I tried to make one spot where I had everything I needed so that I wouldn't have to keep getting up. So, I have lots of things that I need here. All right, so I'm going to clarify all the cards to see what else comes up for us. But I can't imagine this being more balanced than it is. That's a crazy story. I hope you're feeling what I'm feeling about this. Oh, the Divine Feminine's light went out. I'm not thinking that's a bad thing. I'm getting that's because it's time for the masculine to light her fire. He's become strong now. Look at the flame. She's been burning for a long time. It's time for him to take over. So why do we have the surrender card? It's 1039, by the way, and that's the Wheel of Fortune, the turn for the better, and the 39 is that Knight of Cups, the offer of love. So the Two of Crystals, or the Divine Feminine in the surrender. Why? Why do we have that? I'm going to do some oracle cards too, you guys. I don't want to go too long, though. So this is coming up for the Divine Feminine's surrender. Actually, it's 4 cards that came up. The World reversed, because her world was turned upside down, right, in her surrender, because of the twins, their inner children, and trying to be strong, taming the inner beast, and learning to co-create or work from her authentic self and rebuild something for herself. Okay? And so then, where was the masculine in the Tower energy? Why was the masculine in the Tower energy? Well, this card just flipped out. So maybe he was flipping out. Maybe he was losing his patience. Maybe he couldn't believe that he met someone who resonated with all of his different personalities. And then we had 3 more cards for him as well. We have the 8 of Swords, feeling imprisoned, trapped, anxiety. And there is justice, truth and balance of the sovereign. But look at his face, you can even see it. He doesn't really believe it. He doesn't trust that it's true. Okay, but here she is in her sovereignty. And he's also dealing with a group, right? Whether it's his friends, his family, his work. But he's trapped by that group in his truth and balance. And then this sovereign comes in as the Divine Feminine, which then rocks his world with the Tower, okay? But he doesn't believe it's true because he doesn't believe in fairy tales. So the feminine, why is she in the 5 of Crystals? So she's in the Mary Magdalene cave with the Knight of Swords reversed, holding her tongue because of the divine sexual connection between her and her divine masculine, right? Taking forever to end the cycle. Her wanting to lash out, but trying to hold her tongue while he resists change on the other side. So why does the masculine have the Sun on his side at this point? And what do we have here? Here we have for the masculine is the, so now he's dealing with being called to action, being judged, right? The announcements or even legal decisions coming through, divorces, right? Hearing the call to action and trying to heal and forgive others and trying to hold his feelings back in the meantime. And this also can be announcements from the Divine Feminine, the synchronicities and such. Okay, trying to hold back his feelings, not let anyone know. So then why is the Divine Feminine the reflection at the end there with the light, with the Hermit? In order to end an emotional cycle and become free again. And then this comes out for the middle here, to spread the word with the synchronicities and guidance, okay, of her heart. And then for the divine masculine with the 7 of flames, why is he then rising above the tango? Okay, he's learning to tango, literally. This is like the dance, right? To learning to be in balance again in a different way after breaking patterns. Offering love to the feminine performing, and now willing to be the student and learn, whereas before you know, his ego was getting in the way and he didn't want to be the student, right? He already did that already. He was the man, right? He knew everything. He had all the right connections. And now it's him allowing himself to be the student again. And then right after that comes out the Five of Pentacles reversed, recovering from abandonment issues and destitution issues, homelessness issues, rejection issues, in order to connect and come together here in the Bat Cave, right? Because we don't need to go back. The feminine already did that. That's in the past. And then for the Hanging Man and the Bat Cave, what is some last information we have? Grounding and integrating an offer of love, and him sad because he knows how he made the divine feminine feel. Okay? So it's working things out. The bliss state of the worst is over and ending the pain, allowing each sword to fall out one at a time. Right? Because there's still a little bit of pain in his knee there. Okay? Which may be difficult, you know? They're difficult emotions to process and go through, especially for the divine masculine, you know? Some jealousy issues may come up, insincerity, being stubborn as far as love, refusing to give or receive love, too proud. So these are some of the things that you'll deal with when you come together. And then the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles. The family was under it all, right? The need to stand up to the family, all right? And all of it destined, right? Being in your knowing. And not pretending not to see, but actually being in your knowing and keeping to yourself, because you don't need to prove anything. Here's the destiny of the journey, to learn to stand up for yourself without reacting. And here's the dream family as well, but also as the underlying energy, the cause of it all as well. And that would then go over there. So we're going to go into some oracle cards. All right, I'm going to start with the Nature's Whispers. That kind of goes along with what we're feeling here. Okay, it's January 6th, 2020, you guys. For the best and highest good of all is concerned, watching out there. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn from Nature's Whispers? What is the message for this read? This union read for the masculine and feminine? All right. Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't seen this one. That's so perfect for 2020. Higher ground. Look how beautiful that rose is unfolding. And it's so much the pink and the compassion pink and the gold of the Christ consciousness, the unity consciousness. And this was just reminding me of mint leaves for some reason. All right, so it's like saying the divine feminine that we've been working on bringing up in the masculine and within all of us is now arrived. All right, the bud has blossomed to higher ground. And number 20 is the judgment, the decision, the announcement, the call to action. And there's also sheep down below. Okay, it's very much bringing out the unity consciousness, right? To guide the sheep below. To teach them that each one of them can access their higher consciousness through their crown, to get more feminine energy. And the mint is very protective. It's one of those natural protectants, you know, from bugs and things like that. So you can look that up about mint, but it definitely keeps things out of the house. So there's a reason why I felt mint when I saw that. The bottom of the deck is, and also algae came up yesterday in my read, and also for those of you who watched Jessica Del Mar, algae came up in her read today as well as one of the, it's like the very first life force after water and the earth came to be. So that was very interesting coming up. And we all know that algae has a lot of nutritional qualities. So the underlying energy here is the fresh approach, So we have higher ground and a fresh approach, the 21. We go from 20 to 21. Perfect. This is the completion of the cycle, the world, going out to the world. Once you get to higher ground, then you can go out to the world with a fresh approach. And there's a new, a new super highway. The Rainbow Bridge turns into this huge highway of beautiful colors. And you can't really see it very well, but this is like a bridge between the water life and the earth life, because there's all these animals here, and then there's dolphins and things, fish type things over here. So it's bridging, and again, the borderline of what I saw in my vision yesterday of the masculine and feminine coming together through the glass ceiling, all the walls coming down with the rainbow bridge. Very cool. All right, let's do the Kipper deck now. All right. For the Divine Masculine and Feminine for this union read today. Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine and Feminine. January 6th, 2020. Today's the day of the Magicians and the Lovers. All right. Wow. 777, guys. And change. Okay. The bottom of the deck is high honor. Okay, beautiful. And underneath the high honor also is message and great fortune. Okay, so you have the two big fortune cards of abundance, and then you have a message coming of high honor, and then the sudden wealth and change. Amazing, guys. All right, let's do, this is going to be the Metatron deck. Let's see what our message is from Metatron. Is there anything that you want to share with us? What is our message today? Why did this read come to me today, of all days? And also, wasn't January 6th like the second birthday that people thought that Christ was born on? It was January 6th as opposed to December 25th, which then they're challenged as well. There's many other birth dates guessed about when Jesus was born, but today's January 6th. All right, so what is the message? Oh, that came right out, and it's very purple. Look, lilac, higher realms and magic. And that's like the castle in the sky again, 54, the message. That's the Page of Swords. So definitely higher realms and magic above your head. Allow your head to be up in the clouds. All right, build your castles in the sky. And look, this is the eclipse, the full moon eclipse coming up. Build your castles in the sky. I dreamed a dream on days gone by. So this is coming up from Les Mis again. Because Castle in the Clouds comes up, and then that was, I can't remember the title of that song. I dreamed that love would never die. It's making me want to cry. I dreamed something that life was worth living. So you might want to look up Les Mis, those two songs, because that's coming up. These two cards are coming up along with it. First, this one, which is White, Purity, and Innocence. 51 is the King of Swords, and the Diamond. The diamond is no longer in the rough. It is polished and beautiful and winged. Okay. And this is the masculine, the 51 of the King of Swords. And here's the message of love in the castles in the sky, the polished diamond of the masculine with his beautiful wings. And then the duality of the 23, right? He is both the King of Swords and the King of Wands, and balance is needed, right? He is very purity and innocence, and very much the man of passion. Right? So he could lose his patience, but he can also be very dynamic and affectionate, right? So you need to kind of balance which personality he's in, just like your own for the feminine, okay? Here's the message. All right, the underlying energy is the blue, the 29 of the present moment, Madonna and mothering, okay, for the feminine, to help nurture him at the end of the journey. And beneath that is indigo, mystery and mastery of life. And that's, look how purple these all are. Wow. All right. 21, the world again, completion, mystery and mastery of life, and the Madonna and mothering. And they both have the star. She's in her knowing, and her teaching the little ones how to find their star. Okay, so much purple here. Wow. These are all the cards, guys. This one gets more into 3D for the masculine, and it's very purple for the feminine, okay? And we have yin yang here, so. Wow. What else did I want to bring up? Oh, and the mother and the Madonna energy just came up, and here I have the mother of my two little Fiji guys. So we have the Christ vibration with the children, and then the mother, so Mother Mary as well, and then the angels, the fairies, all that beautiful energy is coming up. Let's see what we have from my animal tarot. It was just 2552. Which is that number that never changes. 25, if you reflect it, is 25. It's 52 and then 25 again. So they both reflect each other. It's like the 2 is the 5 reflected. So you can't, it doesn't change no matter what you do. And it has to do with the Knight of Wands from the read today, too. We had 25 for the 2 Knights of Wands for the masculine and feminine. So the 9 of Autumn. This is the ragdoll cat. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much-deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. There's 2 more that want to be shown. And there's another cat. So we have 2 cats here that are going back to the tiger's energy here. The Princess of Autumn, cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. The tabby cat, a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting career. All right, so you got 2 cats. And then the other 2 cards that wanted to come up to be seen. And both of those cats were green, by the way. They're both autumn. Okay, these are the 2 cats that came up. Like the 2 personalities, just like the masculine is the King of Swords and the King of Wands. And then these 2 came up together. So the Princess of Spring and the Prince of Winter. So here we have the Prince and the Princess. Here's the Prince of the masculine energy, the stallion, the thoroughbred horse. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and make your decisions quickly. So that may be a warning for the feminine from the masculine. And then from the feminine to the masculine, the monarch butterfly. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. Beautiful, the butterfly and the thoroughbred. Fast and furious and beautiful and light. Gossamer wings are coming up. But both, you see both like the wind though, okay? That's really beautiful. There's actually 2 butterflies here, butterfly and butterfly. It's like this is the masculine turning into his butterfly and asking the feminine to come down from the tower. Please, Rapunzel, come down. When I referenced the Count yesterday for Rapunzel, it was from the Muppets when we were little. When I was watching the Muppets with my son, the Count Dracula, used to come to Rapunzel's tower and say, Rapunzel. He would get frustrated with her because she wouldn't let her down her hair. She kept having excuses and things like that. And he just kept saying, Rapunzel, let down your hair, right? So that was coming up yesterday. I'm going to do just one more deck, and then we're all done. And this last one will be from the energy deck. All right, one more card. For everyone here. Came right out. It's 21, the world, strategy. There's your pen and your feather and your journal. Make a strategy. Okay, 21. You've come full circle, the end of the journey. And drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and rise and be love, guys. Bye.